Earlier, I made a video about dog Pokemon that I made because dogs are some of my favorite animals, and I tend to like a lot of dog Pokemon because of that, and I like to make a lot of dog Pokemon. Since then, I've made a fair amount of dog Pokemon, and in this video, I'm going to talk about them. To start off, I want to talk about Dog Tunnel, which is clearly based on a dachshund. Yeah, it's a pretty basic concept for a dachshund Pokemon, but I think in this case, simplicity is fine. It's a normal ground type, hence normal type being a lot of dogs are normal type in the Pokemon world, and ground type because dachshunds like to dig and are known for going in burrows and stuff. Tunnel evolves into Seraphadot. I drew some earlier artwork of Seraphadot that I want to highlight since it kind of depicts what I was going for with this Pokemon. Although I did lose some drawings that were colored in, which I'm pretty sure I had earlier drawings of Seraphadot that were colored in, but now I just have these blank ones that aren't colored in that didn't work because I made like the front legs bigger than the back legs or something. And at one point, and this was actually at first, I went in a completely different direction for this dog by giving it this evolution, Terra Hound, which doesn't really make a lot of sense. And I also made enough dog Pokemon that have a similar shape to this. Anyway, so Seraphadot's final artwork is fine. However, I want to note these sleeker drawings that I think are more similar to Dog Tunnel. Maybe I'll redesign this Pokemon in a future video. But for now, this artwork is fine. Anyway, Seraphadot is pretty much a taller version of Dog Tunnel and is still very good at digging. I didn't spend a lot of time talking about these Pokemon since they have a very similar concept, but I like them. Similar to Furfrou, their inspiration is simple, but they have decent designs and are good for what they are. Furfrou is actually one of my favorite dog Pokemon, even though it's just really simple. I like it a lot and I think it's good for what it is. Next is an evolutionless Pokemon, and it's one of my favorite dog Pokemon. Even though it probably has the simplest design out of all my dog Pokemon, I think its simplicity works for it. The one choice that I question when I drew this is if the diamond or kite-shaped ears are fine. Usually ears of that shape belong to animals such as deer. However, Arcanine also has this ear shape, so I think it's alright. Anyway, this is Canero, a dark normal type. It used to be pure normal, but then I felt like this Pokemon deserved the dark type. This is because it's a night-stalking predator that blends into shadows and attacks small prey in alleys and streets. I know the dark type isn't based on literal darkness, although it has been hinted at. Now, I try not to misuse the dog type and just throw it on any Fakemon when I can just because it's my favorite type. Although, I think Canero being a dog type makes sense, being that it's similar to Umbreon in that it's a night-stalking predator. Like I said when I talked about Wilder in my last Fakemon video, I don't think that just being a predator can grant a Pokemon the dog type. But I think it works well with this Pokemon because of how sneaky and elusive it is. Speaking of Wilder, the final Pokemon for this video is Mega Wilder. Wilder's Mega Evolved form is a pure dog type. This is probably best for the Pokemon from a battle standpoint because it loses its 4 times weakness to fighting. It's no longer immune to Ghost, but Dark resists Ghost anyway. Overall, Mega Wilder is pretty much a darker and spikier version of Wilder. I think it looks cool, although it's a Mega Evolution and there's not much to say about it. I can say the reason it loses its normal type is because it becomes more malevolent when it Mega Evolves. Wilder kind of have to be brutal to take down their foes. They don't really have a choice since they're not primary dark types and they're not strong enough. However, Mega Wilders have the strength to actually defeat their opponents quickly, but they rather savor the battle instead of quickly defeating their opponent. So those are some of my dog Fakemon I made. Thanks for watching.